Think about the last movie that blew your mind. The CGI, the surround sound, the $20 popcorn. Now, strip all of that away. You are left with a single flickering light in a dark room. In 1895, Louis and Auguste Lumière held the first commercial public screening of a projected motion picture in Paris. When they showed footage of a train heading toward the camera, the audience panicked. To a 19th century viewer, these flickering images felt like a brush with the supernatural, a magic trick that sent people jumping out of their seats. If cinema started as a fleeting parlor trick, how did it survive a century of massive technological disruption to become a global obsession? The first threat was the loss of novelty. As the excitement of seeing real life on screen faded, a French magician named Georges Méliès saved the medium. He used double exposures and jump cuts to turn film into a tool for sci-fi storytelling. But back in the United States, early creators faced a legal roadblock. Thomas Edison was using aggressive enforcement of his motion picture patents to control the industry on the East Coast. Filmmakers fled to California to escape Edison's reach. They landed in a sunny suburb of Los Angeles, using the year-round light to build the industry we now know as Hollywood. To keep audiences engaged without dialogue, silent film stars relied on raw physical risk. Performers like Buster Keaton executed terrifying stunts without the help of doubles or safety nets. Cinema survived its first decade by mutating from a documentary tool into a story-driven industry built in the desert. By the late 1920s, the public grew restless with silent shadows. Audiences demanded auditory realism, forcing the industry into a radical pivot towards synchronized sound in 1927. The transition was brutal. If a silent star's voice didn't match their visual persona, their career could end in a matter of weeks. A decade later, the demand for realism shifted to color. 1939 brought the transition that mesmerized the world, famously taking Dorothy from a sepia-toned Kansas to a vibrant Oz. This visual upgrade took a physical toll. Technicolor required massive, heavy cameras and enough studio lights to push set temperatures past 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Hollywood proved it would endure extreme professional and physical pain to satisfy the audience's craving for immersion. In the 1950s, cinema faced an existential threat: the free television set in the American living room. Hollywood fought back with scale that TV couldn't match. They introduced widescreen formats, historical epics, and 3D glasses to pull audiences away from their couches. The industry-saving move arrived in 1975. Jaws shattered the $100 million box office ceiling, defining the template for the modern summer blockbuster. 2 years later, George Lucas turned the blockbuster model into a permanent pop culture merchandising engine with Star Wars. Cinema survived the television set by transforming movies into unmissable cultural events. After decades of escalating practical stunts and massive sets, filmmakers eventually hit the hard limits of what was physically possible to capture on camera. In the 1990s, the digital revolution arrived. CGI shifted from a gimmick to a powerhouse capable of mimicking reality with startling precision. The pixel meant cinema no longer had to rely on what was physically in front of a lens. If a writer could dream it, a computer could build it. We've watched cinema survive a century of mutations, from fleeing patent lawyers to fighting off the convenience of the television set. Today, we stream movies on phones or sit in vibrating IMAX theaters. These delivery systems bear little resemblance to the wooden boxes used in 1895. Yet, the core human behavior driving it all remains the same. All of this technology is merely a vehicle for our timeless need to gather in the dark, escape reality, and be told a magnificent story.